Corona dominates the public discussion for the time being. Rightly so. It is a threatening situation in which we find ourselves. However, the climate change is the single most dangerous challenge that we currently face, and I believe this is the most important issue that we have to take care of. I'm Jörg. I'm the CEO of the Swiss Bankers Association. It's an organization that is the umbrella organization of all Swiss banks, and our main goal is to improve the current market situation and the current framework in which Swiss banking is happening. I've been doing this for 18 months now. Perfect timing. I'm always there where the crisis happens. Whatever challenges present themselves, you have to face them right on to alter the situation in a positive and productive way, and this is exactly what we intend to do. Switzerland is a very small place. It's a quarter of a percent of the world's surface. However, from an economic point of view, we are a giant. We belong to the 20 biggest economies worldwide, and our financial sector is one of the biggest ones worldwide. From that point of view, we have a footprint, and we have some influence, and we have some impact if we want to play that card. It's the first country that developed ethical and environmental funds in the 80s and 90s. It is a leading place of microfinancing credits. It doesn't come by chance. First of all, there is a long tradition with regard to innovative banking. And the second reason lies in the fact that Switzerland has the highest density worldwide of universities, which means that the know-how, the expertise is here. And from that point of view, we are very well positioned to become the leading financial marketplace for sustainable products. Yeah, it sounds easy, but it's very difficult indeed, because what you need to present to your client is a portfolio that is 100% sustainable. The mindset for sustainable products needs to be imprinted in the whole process of banking. The younger clients that are now inherit their fortunes from their parents, they would like to invest in sustainable products, so we must be ready. And it is a necessity. We have to change our economic system in order to become a sustainable society for our life here on this planet. The growth rate of sustainable products last year was at 62%, very impressive, and it will continue in that way. It's about 1/3 of all the investments are carried out in sustainable products. That's certainly not enough compared to the rest of the world. It is quite impressive, because the average is about 10%. But that also means that there is still room for improvement, and of course we would like to continue on that path. As I said, Switzerland would like to become number one, and it would also like to be able to export its products, because if we export our products, we are able to influence the path on sustainability on a global scale, not only with regard to Switzerland, which seems to be very important to me. The world economic system must be placed on a sustainable basis, and from that point of view, we have not reached our goals yet. If a client would like to buy a sustainable product, he needs to know what's in the product. He wants to buy a green product, so it must be green, and it must be transparent with regards to its content. I'm a cultural optimist. I strongly believe that we are able to face that challenge. The human race is very inquisitive. It is a species that invents, that wants to discover, and that wants to develop. And innovation is one of the key drivers. I strongly believe that innovation will support the mindset, the change of mindset, and gear us towards the goal that was set out from the world community. It should be something that is considered as something positive, to change the way of life and to use technology and innovation in order to support the whole economic system to transition into a sustainable economic system, which it currently is not. How would I convince him? Well, there are two possibilities to convince him. First of all, it is a demand. His clients or her clients want these kind of products, so he's obliged to offer them if he wants to survive in the market. The second approach that I would choose is look around you. I mean, rainforests are burning down. Air pollution has risen to a degree where people die. Look into our mountains, how the glaciers are retreating and are slowly disappearing. climate change is a fact, and if you are able with your everyday job to change something, I strongly believe he should grasp the opportunity and try to do his or her best in order to change that. It sounds like an obligation. You are not allowed to use your car anymore. You should eat less meat. You should try to use public transport and so on. At the first glance, it might be a challenge, and it might be one more obligation that you have to fulfill in order to become a responsible citizen. I can understand that argument, but at the same time, it is first of all an intellectual challenge, and then secondly, it's also a discovery. You discover new things that you didn't know before, and it can be fun to try to become more sustainable and to see how you yourself improve your quality of your life without really decreasing certain aspects that are very important to you. I started to measure my footprint on a regular basis and play with the figures that you put into these kind of calculators that exist everywhere on the internet, in order to see what would happen if I sold my car, what would happen if I would live in an apartment that is much smaller, how much would it decrease my footprint by not eating meat anymore, and so on. So it can be quite interesting and also fun to discover what opportunities you have and what impact you have on a personal, individual level if you start to change your current way of life. Absolutely, I think it must be a collective effort, and this is probably the most difficult issue to achieve, the mindset, the global mindset. And if you provide the people with the necessary tools in order to understand the dynamics behind it, to understand how their own behavior impacts the climate and impacts the biosphere and impacts biodiversity, then I also am very much convinced that everybody would like to somehow help and support this common effort.